afternoon, G Federation. Welcome to day 89 of 100 stadiums in 100 days, and welcome back to a now snow white Minnesota. While we now have snowfall coming down, while we are in the great north, it reminds me we are officially into hockey season. We've had a lot of requests to go check out some D1 hockey digs, and what better place to do it than the great north of Minnesota. Today we are making it to 4 different stops in 4 different cities in the land of 1,000 lakes, looking for the best rinks in the entire country. I am freezing my ass off, so we are going to get into the car right now. I go by the name of G-Fed. Make sure to like and subscribe to stay up on every stop of the series. Let's check out some Minnesota hockey. All right, as we park our car, today we have 4 Division I hockey rinks to check out, all in Minnesota. If you can't tell by the fit, we just hit all of Minnesota's athletic facilities yesterday, and we're staying in the Twin Cities today, starting in St. Thomas. And they have a brand new arena for hockey and basketball. They just opened a month ago, I think. Then from there, we're gonna go to another national championship level program at Minnesota Duluth, also a city we have never been to at this point. And then from going all the way up to the face of Lake Superior, we're gonna go down to St. Cloud State, then Minnesota State, all leading us in the direction of Iowa State, where we'll be at tomorrow. And as we finish walking and talking about our schedule, we have made it to stop number 1. Let's get in here and see what is going on. Into the atrium, already a beautiful shot with the Twin Cities in the background. Hardly been touched. And as we have entered, we've got our St. Thomas gear as well. Got a t-shirt commemorating the inaugural season of this arena. That's a good keeper. We got an inaugural season game day puck too. Love it. As of this recording, this arena is 6 weeks old. It has hosted a dozen games total. And one place you can watch those first games is in this brand new stained glass club section. We are gonna start our tour right here. This club section is Rubens, named after the father of the arena's namesake, and it is beautiful in here. First up, we have our bar right here, looking right out into campus. Important to highlight campus because this is the first time St. Thomas has played on campus in a long time. The last time they did, pictures look like that. We also have some good old photos from the football stadium back in the day over here. And then we'll pan that out into a nice wooden logo finish right over here. On that, we'll hook over into the arena itself over this way. I know this is a hockey day, but this, like a lot of arenas in hockey, goes between basketball and hockey, and we are currently down for basketball. But without further ado, let's take in this brand spanking new arena together. What do we think, everybody? With our contact here, I need to get a little bit more detail on this place. So looking around, how much does this hold, and how do you transition something like this from a basketball gym to a hockey arena?
Yeah, so right now in the basketball set, we hold 5,300, and then when we switch it over to hockey, which takes about 4 hours and about 30 staff to do, we hold 4,000 people for hockey. So we gain about 1,300 seats when you make that transition to basketball.
I'm actually surprised this takes only 4 hours to do. I'd always assume that this takes way more time for these schools, but when you look at this, we're really a lot closer to the ice than I thought we would be. And we're gonna show that right now. So this right here is a polar floor, and you can see, as Ben's demonstrating right now, you just lift one tile up and we're directly on the ice right there. And of course, beyond the polar floor too, we can see this is a hockey rink with the walls all along this way. So for a hockey game, you're gonna be cutting out this whole section of chairs right here, pulling back a lot of these guys to wrap all the way around this way and doing the same thing on the other side. I think you had an interesting point about trying to make an arena like this not feel too much like a basketball arena or too much like a hockey rink. How do you maneuver around that?
Yeah, we worked really hard with the architects to make sure the steep was appropriate. And so when you came in, that in a basketball set, you had great sight lines from a basketball viewing perspective, and then vice versa from a hockey, that you were right on top of the ice. So if you look at the seats, they're actually really steep. We pulled the suites and premium on top of the ice more to give those sight lines a really nice view of both basketball and hockey.
With all that said, we are gonna check this out one more time at floor level and then go up around a little bit to get a few more angles. Actually, as we're walking out of here, we can transition into a practice rink too. You guys wanna see the actual puck today? Let's go see some puck. You'll love that. You gotta love it. Then from there, we are gonna go pass by some nice logos, little nutrition station, out these doors, passing by the student entrance, up these stairs right here, into our concourse, into our first aerial view of the arena, coming up right here, right above half court. Easy, breezy, beautiful. While we're up here, just a few more things we got. We have the loge boxes just to the left of us. Got our branded chairs that we can sit in that also have charging stations for your phone. As someone that drains phone battery at sporting events, I would be all over that one. If you want to watch a basketball game and check out hockey practice at the same time, that is available to do through these windows right here. And just get a better shot in general of that practice hockey rink. Looking great. And now we're up to the 3rd floor for a few suites. Here's our hallway to get there, and we're gonna enter into the president's suite right here. And right here, this is what we're looking like. Something about getting the Tommies cut into the wood right here, I think that's a good touch I've never seen before. One thing really interesting as we go around here is this legacy club too. So St. Thomas is the first ever school to go from Division III directly to Division I. And over here, we are capturing all the D3 championships that got them there. It's cross country, basketball, baseball, softball, everything, D3 to D1. And with the new arena, not just do we have that on the wall, we have that commemorated with its own club section too, which we can get a view of on the other side of the court right over here. And now the last thing that we have while we're already up here is this Capital Club right over here. Because we're in St. Paul, not Minneapolis, the real capital of Minnesota. We also got the bar on this side for the Capital Club, and we'll get right past that one last view of Anderson Arena. They usually say it's hockey time in the capital city. I thought that'd be a good transition, but we got basketball on the court right now, so we're gonna wait on that. And now with our hoodie on, back outside, back in the main entrance, that wraps us up at St. Thomas as we go up to Duluth. But of course, thanks for welcoming us to Minnesota. Thanks for having us. We're off to the next stop. On the way back to the car though, we gotta get this football stadium in. When we go to FCS Stadium, we haven't been to knockout, we're gonna do it. And here we are with a wide open gate. Not the biggest stadium we've ever seen, but once again, this is D3 up until like last year. And it's easy to walk on and it fits into campus really well. We're always down with that. Deep Minnesota fog off to Duluth. This is hockey weather. Now after a quick 2-hour and 20-minute drive, we have made it to Amsoil Arena, home of Minnesota Duluth hockey. Since we have departed, we have learned a few things. One, it just started to rain pretty hard and that rain is gonna turn into snow. We wanna start heading south pretty quick so the roads don't freeze over. And Duluth is low-key a bigger city than I thought it would be. Look at this downtown. Next thing, since coordinated contacts with 4 different schools is pretty hard and I figured access would be pretty easy in middle of nowhere Minnesota, we're gonna be walk-on challenging the rest of this video. However, I did not know that this arena would be off campus, which could make things pretty hard to get in. So that might make things on this stop a little bit harder, but like a lot of things in Minnesota, this stadium looks like one of those buildings that catwalks into like 5 different places. So we should have a lot of opportunities. We're not gonna figure this out from our car. Let's get a little extra layer on and try our best. Time to find some hockey. I think our best chance right now is going through these doors back here and catwalking over. Like I was saying too, catwalk here, catwalk over here as well. So many different things you can get into. I wonder what it's gonna be. And good sign for us, we are starting up with our first open door right here. I'm more just excited I can be inside quickly than this actually leading to something. It's actually a cute little plaza. Skyway is up this way. Let's take the escalators. After we pass by the Edmund Fitzgerald Hall. What the hell is going on here? We are so far away from a hockey arena. Seems pretty easy to follow our way there though. We need to go over this way. Let's just hope that these doors are open. Come on, come on, come on. Not great. Maybe if I just push this. Not happening. Okay, so it seems like we have at least some level of security here. Well, there are gonna be more opportunities. Maybe past here into this arena is the way. I think even though we have the hockey right here, this is actually a second arena though. I don't even know what goes on in this guy. And there's not even a doorknob here, so we can't do that either. Definitely not gaining anything through this way. Just have the banks of the Lake Superior to take in. Even though we haven't quite achieved our goal yet, there is a lot of interesting stuff we're passing by here. Like, look at this 1,000 lake map we're passing by on this catwalk. And we have some sort of curling center in here too. This doesn't seem like that much at face value, but at the same time, I can't imagine there's that many curling facilities that are this big. Let's see this shot right here. Where we're gonna go, where we're gonna go. These move a lot slower than I remember. I don't really know what that's worth, but I assume they tried to make that happen. Should have probably read the rules of curling before I started filming. Good side quest, back to our main project down this way. We can see right now we are across the street from the arena. I don't know quite how we're gonna get here from there, but I'm following the directions I'm given. Looking like we're gonna need to take this catwalk heading outside. I like these double doors right here a little bit more than what I saw the first time. Come on now. No. We're just gonna have to go outside and try through here. This was so much more fun to do on day 8 than day 88. Kind of back to where we started. Come on. Do we have it? No. What the hell, man? Couple more shots here. Come on. No. Ooh, maybe a yes. Let's walk through these double doors. I actually think this is gonna be it. Amsoil Arena just past these double doors. Unless these are locked in a really weird way. Bam! Let's go! This still might be kind of hard though. Do I have any of these? This looks like it's gonna be locked. Yeah, how about this? Giant tees, hate to see it. And of course we just got locked out of where we came from. Back out and around. It's this Gabby's dollhouse are setting up for today. You're the problem, it's you. Well, that was a massive failure to start our journey, but at the very least, we are on the banks of Lake Superior. You guys wanna watch a big ship travel across the lake? Seems like a thing to do here, right? $8 sandwich, out on the water. This is how we do it. Definitely should have got some soup, but it'll do. Let's see what this is all about. Let's see a ship. I hear bells. Here we go. It just gets raised straight up. I thought it'd be more of like a crossing action. Interesting. It's actually crazy how many people are here to watch this at 2 p.m. on a work day. That is a big old ship. Hell yeah. Okay. Is that like them saying hey? It's gotta be them saying hi. Thing's still going. Wow. This is actually ginormous. This is the longest boat I've ever seen. That was so much longer than it looked coming in. Look at this thing. There's the very back. We got to go all the way here to the very front. You know what? Cool shit, Duluth. That was worth the wait. Off to St. Cloud. Is this the winter weather we were talking about? It's 4:15 and it feels like we're getting pretty close to 9 p.m. Once again, a lot more fun on day 8 than day 88. All right, guys, we have made it to St. Cloud, Minnesota just before 5 p.m. I can't even describe how bad I don't want to get out of my car. This door better be open. They wanted me to do a basketball version of 100 stadiums. You guys see this shit? Child, please. There's enough cars out here that feel like we can check this out. The amount of lights inside of here doesn't feel too inviting, but I see a little green light there too. That does feel inviting. Some people are going in here this way though. That might not be a bad path to follow. This looks like a crazy facility. We can even see this weight room from the outside. I want to get in here. This has to be one of the best D1 facilities for hockey in the country. Was it this entrance right here they went through? Oh yes, sir. Right by the Hockey Performance Center we already saw, just to our left. All right, so that entrance actually went to the practice rink and I had to skirt out of there as fast as I could to get this whole tour in because it was being fully used. There is nothing worse than entering a building and getting kicked out immediately. But since we have successfully made it to the concourse, we are gonna roll through here and then backtrack around. Starting with all of our NHL jerseys on the wall, we got about 10 of them right here. This is also Herb Brooks National Hockey Center for the legendary coach. Probably should have mentioned that earlier, but once again, we've been moving fast. Here's some more Herb Brooks signage right up here. And now passing the 2013 Frozen Four banner, we make our way into, surprisingly, the first hockey rink of the entire trip. Stop number 3, still have not seen Heist yet. But that is going to change right now as we are beginning youth hockey right after I arrive. Can't say this is my favorite thing to be a random guy filming, but we'll work our way around it. This just started like 15 minutes ago. Really wish I got here 15 minutes earlier. But regardless of all of that, here's one more great view this way. One more shot from the back right here. Just outside of there, here's that practice rink getting zambonied up right now. They had to just finish right as I was getting started. Now we have a whole line of doors down this way. Very interesting natural walking path in the stadium. Seems like it goes to some suites. Probably not open. Worth a shot though. We have at least a decent view of one through right here. That now gives us a whole whip around to the other side. Got a good mural up right here. Here's the Herb Brooks shrine right here. He was the head coach of the Miracle on Ice. That's his big calling card amongst a few others. One more big old angle for all y'all. And lastly, right in the center of this concourse, we have pretty much the Heisman Trophy of college hockey. Last won by St. Cloud State in 2013. Drew LeBlanc won it, the Hobie Baker. I'm not sure if we pronounced those last two things right, but we tried. I wonder if this door is open to us. Looks like some sort of club. Nope. Well, with all the suites locked, all the clubs locked, all that's really left is this atrium we were looking at initially. And this is a grand old entrance into a hockey rink. I love to see that. Not gonna lie, seeing this entrance at first glance, I thought that this hockey rink would be a little bit more impressive. It still is a very solid rink, don't get me wrong, but this atrium is state of the art and their rink is just not quite that. I would still say St. Thomas has this beat and we're gonna need to see where Minnesota State stacks up now. But I think we're gonna have that wait until tomorrow. We are officially in a snowstorm. It is officially dark out, and I would like to do this without either of those things. Well, we got some light, but this isn't first on the trip. First time scraping my car off, and first time using our handy dandy Texas Tech scraper. With us cleaned up now, let's wrap up this video at our last stop, Minnesota State. This is a pretty freaking small downtown. I'm surprised they even have the option of having an arena off campus. Maybe 3 traffic lights going through the whole thing. What are we doing here? But without further ado, here's our main entrance by some festive street lights. Looks kind of dark. Don't feel great about it. No, and a no, and another no. All right, when locked, use front street lobby entrance. Guess what we're doing? Oh, this is what it is right here. We got it. Got the Bulls out front, little hockey statue down this way. We are also within office hours. Let's just see if we can get past that office. Seems as if that should not be an issue. Locker rooms down here? Can we just walk right in? Does not quite look like it. Nah. Up these stairs is our next best thing. The concert list at these venues always impresses me. What were we doing having Kiss and Aerosmith play in Mankato, Minnesota? Like instead of Minneapolis? Why? There's no way we have to go down this catwalk to get to the arena, right? I'm not seeing that many other options though. Can we also just talk about how great the amount of catwalks in Minnesota is? The amount of stuff that's all essentially within the same building is just like another layer of adventure for me. The arena is definitely that gray silverish building right here, right? It has to be. Maybe through these doors I can get here? These stairs, I should say. Let's through up this way. Nothing. And down here, guess it's back to where we started. Elevator to 3rd floor for hockey spectators. Can we even take that? That is not working. This is not working. We might be cooked at this entrance. Well, that is pretty brutal. We only got 1 ice rink on an entire hockey blitz. That's a bad on me, guys. We're trying, didn't work out. Also, I'm just very surprised how many of these are off campus. That is not something I was expecting at all, especially for how small these cities in Minnesota are. But Minnesota State does have a football field on campus, so we're just gonna wrap up there. Back to our natural habitat for the 3rd MSU, a lot of y'all don't know about. We love the wide open gaze of D2 football, or D3, I don't even know, one or the other. It's got a nice little bell, 2 sides of seatings, pretty much a high school field with maybe a little bit of a hill in the back that looks fun. We'll take it. And since this is one day after we started, I need to head to Iowa State right now and get back in my car. 11 more days. Let's hope this is the coldest one right here. Appreciate y'all.